close. Yes, so now also Johanna put on so that we're recording this session. So that, yeah, we're going to send it over to David, so we also have it as a material, just so that everybody is on that. But yes, again, welcome everyone. And I would like to just give the word over to David to introduce himself.
Okay, thank you so much, Mandela. Like many of you have heard, my name is David Mulo. I am from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm from an organization called Green Kenya. Okay, so Green Kenya Sport for Development Organization. We teach through sports, and maybe I can just say that at this moment, or you want me to continue, Mandela?
No, but the thing that I could just add, which is a bit fun to say, that me and David has actually met in person, because we started talking, I think, almost a year ago now, David. But then
Yes.
we had this format as well. So we had Zoom and we learned about each other's organization and what we were doing and what we were trying to build. And then I went to Nairobi in November, and then David was so kind to not only show Green Kenya for me, but also, some other parts of the city and some other initiatives. So that's just a fun add-on that we have met, and I've actually seen the amazing work that you do. So yeah,
Good,
but please
good.
go into a bit more detail about Green Kenya and about you.
Very good. So just before I go into detail into what Green Kenya is doing, and I mean, you were so courageous to come to Kenya last year because it was during COVID, and you're like, I want to see the girls. I mean, I want to go and see them. That was so courageous, and that's why I was willing to take you, because you were like, okay, let's go. So, and I did not want you to miss that moment, because it would have taken maybe much time before we could have seen something like that. So yeah, like I said, Green Kenya is a sport for development organization. We teach through sports, and we work in challenging environment. 9 for children, but adults as well. About me is that David is a simple guy who loves sports, football. And so I've played football ever since I was young, ever since I was 8. I played in primary school, I played in high school, and I've also played competitive football for like 5 years, competitive football for semi-professional team here in Kenya. And that one has made me to be who I am today and helped me to be disciplined and, to just pursue my purpose in life. Yeah, that's about me.
Yeah. And I think that's so nice, because that comes into a bit, or like my second question, in the sense of what inspired you to start Green Kenya, because you say that you also activate children through sports. And why do you think, what was the inspiration behind that, and why did you?
Wow. So like I said, I played football, and when you play football and you're good at it, I was good at it. So people tend to, follow you on your social media. People tend to, become friends with you, and you gain even friends that you don't know. And so I became like a role model in my community. Every time we showed up, when we had a match, or we had friends coming over and saying, oh, I like the way you guys are playing. And so we became like role models. And I said, what can I do to change my community and to change my life? And so in the process, when you are in that stage, sometimes people lose it. So I lost some of my friends in different ways. And I said, I have to change this. And there was a time when I was scared, because I felt like, the police will come to me because I was friends with some of these people. I was scared because I saw some of my friends who were shot, and I said, this must change in my life. And so one day I woke up with I met my friend in the morning, and I told him, this thing has been bothering me for so long. And he asked me what, and I said, what can we do to change our environment? I mean, what can we do to not only play football, but use football to teach, to help other people to change their lives as well? And so we just said, okay, let's call it Green Kenya. And so when we went to search the name Green Kenya, there were so many Green Kenya here in Kenya. And so we said, okay, put green, put hyphen between green and Kenya. And if you look at our logo, there is a hyphen between Kenya and green. That was something that distinguished us from other organizations. And so we only had football and coaching children. That is the knowledge that we had. And I said, let's start doing it. So we started doing it. And we went to the field, talked to children, taught them that, okay, you can become a good player, you can be disciplined. That is what we had at the back of our mind. And so in 2014, just before we started our session, Green Kenya was registered in 2014, September 23rd. So this year will be 7 years old. And so we started working with one school with about 50 children. And from one program to another, and now we've impacted around 1,200 children in Nairobi, in Mombasa, in Nyanza, and in other places. And through our partners, we've also worked with organizations in Malawi and in other places. And so this has been a journey to me. I think I can write a book about what I've seen football doing in my life and doing in the life of other people. So I believe that this is a story that I would like to share with other people and hopefully build someone, make them to be stronger, to believe in their dream and to, become purposeful in life. Because there's nothing so strong as someone who has a purpose. One person who has a purpose is more stronger than even 10,000 people who are just there, don't have something to live for.
Yeah.
And so, it has been a journey to me. It has disciplined the way I talk to people, the way I appreciate, each and every day in my life. And I've realized that I have something in between my head that I can help someone with to become even better than me. The children that we are working with, they might not even realize what you're doing. They cannot even pay us, okay? But what you're doing in their lives, it will stick with them forever. That is more than money. That's what purpose teaches you. That if you have a purpose, it will open doors to you. So that is a bit of what you're doing.
And I think that's, I think that's so amazing. And what you and I also spoke about before was this, what sport is, and especially soccer, and what you thought what you learned very early is, that it's all about teamwork, that even how much you want, if you're one person, you can't win. You have to, depend on each other and all of your strengths. So that leads me a bit on to my other question, and also a bit of the funding part of Green Kenya. How did you think that the response was when you wanted to start this, and in accordance to what is teamwork for you? Did you feel that you had support and that you could quickly become a team who could work with this? Or
wow, that is a good question. So, when we started, we did not have enough knowledge, enough team, enough resources. We did not even believe in ourselves. I never thought that Green Kenya and who I am today will ever show up. It was really challenging. We went to some of our friends and told them our dream, and they said it will never work. We got so many rejections, more than yeses. And so even today, I don't take rejection personally. I say, okay, and I move forward. And so, when you're starting, you don't have enough information about where you're going, and you really don't know how it will turn out. So what is leading you is your vision, is your purpose. So what I can advise, or what I can say is that, purpose will surpass logic. Even some of your friends or your parents might say, you're wasting time here. You're not even making money. So why did I take you to school? But if you follow your purpose, I can assure you, it will open up other doors. And so we were never registered when we started. So we say, how can we be registered? We said, okay, let's do bylaws or constitution. So I am not a lawyer. I don't have that knowledge. And so we went to a lawyer and told us that you have to pay me to do this. And said, we don't have the money. So we started writing ourselves. We looked at other constitutions and we started writing ourselves. So we wrote the constitution, okay? We brought in the team. We registered the organization. We created the website. We created social media. We trained ourselves. We trained other coaches. We trained the teachers. We created the environment where Green Kenya will thrive. We just, with the purpose and the vision. We did not have the money. We did not have enough resources. We did not have enough team. All we had was the heart to do it. And that's where we are today. And you know what? Today, I'm even bolder. I'm braver. I am even determined to do this more than ever. And if I am alone, that's okay. That's okay, because I believed that I've come to a realization that you don't need 1,000 people. You need 1 or 2 people who say, let's go. The rest will come.
Yeah.
I can assure you.
Yeah. And that's nice, dude. I think that, but that's what I've always felt with you, even when we started this passion driven. I think, yeah, when you also are able to express that to other people, you get them on because they see how passionate you are about it. And it also inspires the children, of course, to join the session. And yeah, it just radiates off on all of us. I think that's one of the amazing parts. But how is your team looking today? I mean, you work as a team. I was at one of your internal meetings. Are you a sort of a group who has different tasks and works together every day?
Very good. So yes, of course, now we have a team and we work together. We have people who are doing different things in the organization. I am not doing everything now, thank God. So what we decided is that you find that someone is stronger in one area, but they're not stronger in the other. So we said, okay, for example, one person, you will be in charge of, for example, social media. You'll be in charge of all communication, including social media, but you can still do something in other programs. Because if you intertwine or if you work like this, you'll be able to have a team that knows so much about the organization, not one person knowing one area better than anybody else, because we've not reached a point where we can, say, this is your department and nothing else you can do. We've not yet reached there. And as a community development organization, we want people to learn not only to, for example, write proposals, but also learn how to communicate with people, how to handle, for example, maybe different people from different communities. Okay, so we have a team that is in charge of programs, that is in charge of communication, that is in charge of fundraising. And it is an experience that I never thought I would have. Now you have to manage the team. Okay, now another skill come in. You have to be the leader to lead the pack. And so it takes another level of thinking. I realized one thing, by the way, that when you go to another dimension, you become a student. You don't become a leader. So in this level, like working with children in schools and doing programs and impacting 1,000 children, that was nothing at this moment because I've mastered that. But when you come to master, lead a team, you become a student again. You have to learn the dynamics of the team, temperament of different people. How can this person approach some of our partners, and learning to understand someone from not even from your background. You see, you become a student again. And when you master that area, you go to another dimension, you become a student again. So it's just like that.
Yeah.
It's like a staircase.
Sure. Yeah, that's good described also with a staircase. But I'm thinking also, just going back to bit on, why do you believe that teamwork is so important, and what have it done to your work in that sense? I mean, you were sort of schooled in it from soccer, but why do you think that it's so important with teamwork? Why do you have to work as a team? Why is that an essential part for you?
So when you talk about teamwork, these are people who have come together to collaborate. Okay, so when you have a team, you have a group of people who have come together from different backgrounds with one vision. Okay, and so teamwork is important because you'll have people who have different temperament, like I said. they've learned maybe doing things their own way, but now you want to think as a team and do it as one. You'll have to learn the way other people talk, the way they do their things. Because, for example, in our team, we have some people who like to do things like at night, and then they come and tell you, okay, I was thinking about this. What do you think? But you have some people who say, okay, I have this idea. Let's sit down and discuss. You have to learn how these people are going to work together. Okay. And you have to appreciate that someone is stronger in another area and someone is not. Another thing is that, for example, now I like talking, but I never used to like talking. But because I'm a leader, I have to talk to people. I've mastered that. But there's someone who not really a talkative, but they are excellent worker. If you give them some work, it will be done. But they will not like talking in front of people. So in a team, you need to understand that I have different kind of individuals here who have different abilities, and we have to harness that to produce something. That is one of the importance of teamwork. Then something else is that when you bring so many people like that, you'll have a good, should I say, good conflict, because now people will be like, I need this. Like, for example, you'll say, I want this thing to be done at this time. Someone is not able to make it, and you're like, okay, what are we going to do to make sure that you do it on time? And then in the same team, someone will be like, you're always slow. What can we do to make you quicker? That is part of the team. And as a leader, you need to accept that. So nowadays, before I say anything, I look at my team and I try to diffuse what they're saying. Before I make my judgment, I look at, where are we going? What is the end product? Before I make my decision. So that is, I would say those are some of the importance of teamwork. Another thing is that, you get to do things quicker. You cannot do everything, okay? And one of the things that I learned is that I was not born to do everything. David is not good in everything. I'm good in one or two things. The rest, other people can do better. But when you're starting, you're doing everything by yourself, okay? You're doing so much by yourself. But when you get a team, it becomes simple. You can divide the work, and see someone evolving and being creative in that area is so fulfilling. Yep.
How do you feel that during this past year, when it's a bit more challenging to have to meet each other? You did it, or it was very fun for us to be able to see in November, because then we were able to meet, but we had masks and we washed our hands and everything. But how do you think that has but it was very fun because you were so good. You also had a ritual with the kids. They all could wash their hands and take the temperature, and so it was so nicely made. And I think that was a really good foundation. But do you think that the teamwork part, as for your organization and you who work with Green Kenya, has that been challenged throughout the year, or do you think that the teamwork has developed, or what is your take on the past year?
So 2020 was a bit difficult. I don't know how it was in your country, but 2020 was a difficult one. I've never seen something like that in my life. And so even the people that you saw, we were not like the whole team. Some of us could not travel to Nairobi. So they had to stay in the rural. And so what we did, we said, okay, we will scale down our program and say, we will only focus on two, which were near us. So we did not want to travel far away. Okay. So one is one you visited in Buruburu. The other one was in Mukuru. And so we said, the ones who are available, the ones who live around there are the ones who can come. Okay. And if they could not come, I would understand. Understand. And so we said, what can we do to impact the children that are close to us? We wrote down the protocols that we will follow, COVID-19 protocols. And that's why you saw washing hands, thermal gun, sanitizer, and everything. And so even the children were stressed. So we said, okay, if you don't do this program, yes, it is scary outside here, but if you don't do this, children are going to be more stressed. Children are going to lose, their minds, and it will not be good for health. I can try and be, take it, but for them it will not. So we said, let's go. And we went.
And how do you think that did it strengthen your internal team? I mean, you who made it happen, because the team that I met, the different coaches, but also the girls who had a bit more in the life skill, did you feel that made you come closer as a team, or was it a bit challenging, not being able to meet all of you and, doing different setups? Or how did you feel that, you as a working team, how do you think that?
It had mixed feelings. It was challenging, but also educative. It was challenging in the sense that people could not do the things that they used to do. You could not visit each other that much. You could not do, things that you can do with a team.
No.
But another thing that it taught us was we were able to be closer than ever. We decided to have WhatsApp calls. So I will call my team, especially around this time, around 7:38, because curfew was at 8 p.m. So we'll ensure that everybody's at home by 6:30, and 7 we start our call, or even do it at 8. Okay, so if you do it at 8, we know everybody's seated and waiting. And so we would talk and say, hey, what are you doing there? How is your place? What is happening? And we will give each other hope and say, it will be okay.
Yeah.
Don't give up. It will be okay. Make sure you've talked to, for example, so-and-so. How are they doing? Find out, talk to their parents. So WhatsApp was very, very important. We had even WhatsApp group with teachers. We had WhatsApp group with parents of the children that we work with. And so we will share trainings. I'll do trainings in my house, and some of the coaches will do training in their houses, record it and send it through WhatsApp for children to see. Or we would even record messages, positive messages to children, and say, we are together. When this is over, we will play again. So it helps us to be together and to understand each other and to value the importance of being close to one another.
Yeah.
Very important.
But that is a form of strengthening. I mean, just sending those messages, and that has maybe also done, has gotten you guys closer, but in another way, sort of. So as you said, there's both sides to it, but I think that's a really nice approach. And it's not the working, but getting to know each other, but also making sure that everybody is okay and feel included.
And something else that I learned was personal development, and taking care of each other is even important than the work that you're doing. Because if I'm not fulfilled in what I'm doing from inside, if I don't feel competent enough, I will not come and be part of the team. And so as a leader, I said, okay, I will ensure that I show love, I show, that genuine atmosphere that I need this person. We are in this together. And so I started doing the recording, and they followed up. Okay. So I realized that for the team to be stronger, there has to be chemistry. There has to be connection, that I feel you. You might be going through difficulties, but I am with you. And if there's something that I need to help you with in terms of talking, just showing you that I'm here, talk to me. That sincerity, that love is important.
Yeah, that's so nice. And moving on to my next question to you, David. It's so fun because, as I told you, we're playing soccer on Saturday in some different locations, and trying to make it small and safe, of course. And but for that, I was thinking to ask you a question, and now I'm more focused on your football career, or your soccer participant, because I was thinking that we can discuss challenges, so we know what not to do on Saturday. That was my idea. No, I'm kidding, girls. I think it would go really well. But my question to you was, some challenges that if you were facing challenges when being in that also quite elitistic team, or very successful team, what was some of the challenges that you experienced as a football team of creating the teamwork?
Very good. So actually, what I'm doing right now is related to football. It's actually sports, but in a professional, let me say, because what you're doing is professional even here, but it is related to sports.
Yeah.
Okay. So you need teamwork here, you need teamwork in the field. Okay. Some of the challenges, let me start with good things and then go to the challenges. So
okay.
Some of the things that that I saw that really built who I am today was the tenacity not to give up and to always show up. Training was hard, but I will always show up to compete, to fight for that position. I mean, we were like 30 players and only 11 can play plus 3 subs. So you have to work extra hard to be in the team. So it was not a matter of knowing the coach. It was a matter of meritocracy, where you are there because of merits. Okay? The coach needs results. Then something else was, it built my physique. I could breathe very well. I could walk for long. I could sleep very well. No stress. That helped me because, when you're growing up and you're coming from difficult environment, there's so many things that are going into your head. And when I stepped into the field, I forgot everything. I will play until 6:30 p.m. and I'm like, oh, I was supposed to go and do one thing. Okay. So those are the things that, I liked about sports. And then something else, bringing people together. Football brings people together. People who hate each other, people who love each other. I mean, you play sports together and you even forget your differences. You're like, oh, so sports brings people to the same level. Whether poor, rich, black, white, young, or old, sports bring you to the same level. And you realize that we are stronger together than we are apart. That we can only win as a team. Yeah. Nobody can win here as an individual. You cannot start the ball as a goalkeeper, be the defender, be the midfielder, be the striker, score and come back. It will never happen.
No, then you're superhuman.
Oh, yes. And that happens in the team as well. Nobody knows everything. And if you do that, you're going to burn out and you'll not go for long. It's like in sports. There's a time that, okay, you can play one half, somebody else plays. And you can finish this match, next time someone starts. And I can resonate that with what we're doing right now, because I realize that I don't have to show up in everything. If this person can show up, I can be the shadow. I'm just there, but I'm not there. It's like, okay, you take the lead, you take the credit. Just go. Okay. And then some of the challenges that I faced, I mean, one, and I will resonate this with the team. Number one is that, when you're coming together as a team, there is that forming stage. So you form a team. You get to know this person plays this number, is good in defending, is good in aerial balls, is good in talking. So we'll put in the middle or something like that. He's a good tackler. And so you form a team. After forming the team, you start playing, and then you come to the stage number 2, where you call it norming. Norming or normalizing is where now I know Vendela is good with the left foot, so I'll put him or put her on the left side. Okay, David is good, for example, the aerial ball, he will play here. After that scenario, the third situation is now storming. Storming where I've come from a different background. You've come from a different background. I want all the balls. Every time you have the ball, I'm calling you. And I don't want you even to think about, just give me the ball. And you're like, I mean, I can think. I can give the ball to somebody else, not you. This happens in the team. Someone is like, I want this done here now. And someone is like, I don't have that time to do it right now. Okay. So there is that storming stage where people get to know each other. You get to know the temperament of someone else, what makes them smile, what makes them angry, the time that they can do good work, and the time they're like, I don't feel like doing anything. Okay. And then the second last stage is now performing, where we've now gelled. There is chemistry. Okay. We know each other. We know our background, and you've mastered the team. You know the system that you're playing. I don't know if the coach does not even have to remind you. When you're put in the field, you know my role is this and this and this. And this happens in the team. Okay, once you build a strong team and you stay together for some time, there is that gelling, chemistry. You love each other even more than you used to. And you're like, we need this person to play in our team. Okay, we need Vanilla to do this. And we know, we don't even have to find out more about you. We know if you send you there, you will perform. And then the last stage is now climax or adjourning. Adjourning is where now we've won all the matches, we have all the trophies, we are role models. I am the best in this game. I think I feel I need another level of challenges. Now, I call it adjourning or climax. Climax is where you are now performing. You are impacting girls in Europe, in Africa, in Ecuador, in Myanmar. And so before you reach that stage, you've mastered your surrounding. Like you said, you're going to play football in different places, in Stockholm, in Sweden, and in where. Now you've done that. People have known what PAMOJA is. Now, what's the next challenge? Let's go to Africa. Let's go to Myanmar. You go to Europe, you go to US. Okay. And now the people that you used to work with are now directors, are now people who are impacting lives in other places. That is the team. But before you reach there, you'll have to pass through all these stages. And it's very interesting. It's called metamorphosis of an organization.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk more. Let me stop
No,
there.
no, but David, you did a good. You actually taught me about this just some days ago when we started talking about,
Sure.
our discussion. And when you went through, I actually thought about it after that. I hadn't seen it like that, or put words into the stages. But it's true, and it's even also in a group project in school when you're more people you put in together and you try to build. I mean, so there are all sorts of this. I mean, group dynamics, we have one of those spreads as well. And it is really important also to form the team, of course, and to be successful.
True. I've just remembered one thing. I never knew that I was building a business. Oh. I thought I was building a non-profit organization. But you will also realize this, that you're building a business. Because bringing in a team that is bringing in people like the girls that you have right now, you're bringing in expertise. Building the brand of the organization, you're building your brand to go and sell your product. Your product are the books that you're creating right now. And your clients will be the children and the girls that you want to reach in different places. You are building a business. So what I'd like you to do as a leader and the girls that you have around you is think PAMOJA as a business. When you do business, you come on time. You keep the ethics. You talk to clients very good. You keep your word, okay? And you protect the name. When you put on the name for PAMOJA, you represent us. So represent the business very well.
Yeah, thank you, David. And actually, we also have to say your logo is really nice. I've liked that from the beginning, also with the color. So it's very nice that you also have it everywhere. I think, yeah, merge is our next step with clothes and, some sort
very
of.
Good.
It's very good to have. Okay, but thank you, David. And now I was a bit very interested in, because I got to witness it myself, but just how do you practice young children teamwork? How do they, because I mean, you grow up and you get a ball in front of you, but how do you understand that because you have to play this sport, you do it together with other children? How do you teach children that?
Very good. That's a good question, by the way. That's a good question. So something that I did not tell you in my introduction is that I've been trained to work, to use sports to teach. So I can create games anywhere about anything, okay? And so I've been trained on how to use sports to address different social issues. And one of it is self-directed learning, where you teach children to take up responsibility by themselves and to learn by doing. And so in our training, we are taught to learn different kind of children. For example, we have different kind of learners. We have some children who learn through pictures, some through words, some through music, some through skit and stuff like that. So what you need to do as a coach is to bring yourself to their level. And I don't know if you've seen some of my pictures. When I'm talking to children, I kneel down, okay? And so we are the same level. And so sometimes they touch my head, they touch me. Now I've brought myself to their level, now we can reason. But if you stand up, they are here and you're here, you don't be able to understand each other. And that happens in the team as well. You need to see things from the other person's perspective and put yourself into their shoes and say, if I was in this situation, how would I have handled it? And so with children, some of the things that interest them don't interest adults. Children are not there to win. They're there to make friends. They're there to release stress. They're there to play with soil. They're there to dance. And, you know, they can even take the ball when you're about to score and start running with it. That is the fun part of it. So adults, we're like, you go and score. We pressure them. So what we do in our session is that we put children at the center of our sessions, not the sport. So we teach children to love the game, not to be competitive athletes. We take that out. We define winning. Actually, we call it redefining winning, because to them, showing up in the field, being with friends, jumping around and playing, oh, that is it. That is it. So when we want to teach teamwork to children, first of all, we talk about it. We ask them questions. We're like, what is teamwork to you? What do you think of teamwork? Where have you seen teamwork before? Have you seen it at home, in school? Where? How can we use it? And then we play games to reinforce that. And then afterwards, we do a debrief or cool down, where we ask them questions. We say, what did you learn in this game? How would you have taught if you were the coach? And they stand and they explain, and it is very different from what we were thinking. And you're like, where did you get that? You know? So we become friends. Yeah. And I can assure you, in all the schools that I've gone with the team to do our sessions, even teachers ask us, what do you give these children? We've never gone with a cane. Here in Kenya and in Africa, teachers still use cane to beat children. We say, no, don't beat them. Okay? So we've even come up with a child protection policy in schools, and we talk about this with the teachers, and we say, how would you teach without a cane? And so we've been doing trainings like those with teachers. And so these children are our friends. Did you know that the mind of a child, and that's some of the things that you teach them at the age of 10 years and below, will always stick with them? So if you teach them love, teach them teamwork, teach them responsibility, how to respect everybody in the community, I can assure you they will grow like that. And that is something that you also need to take into the team and say, okay, if we can engrave this into our hearts, we don't have to explain it. Whenever you show up somewhere, people will know, oh, PAMOJA was here, because you have a strong philosophy that is oozing out of your face, out of your appearance, how you talk, you know, how you handle people, it will be seen.
Yeah, that's so nice. But it's also so, because I just remembered now when you had the life skills session, which was a part of the football practice, but that they were supposed to, you know, because that was a bit of, or that was like empowerment, or, you know, practicing to be more empowered and to stand up, but they were just running and saying their names, I remember. And I remember it so much because then because they were like, you know, whispering it a bit, they were like LeBron, and they didn't want to say it out loud, and you wanted them to practice also to listen to each other so that everybody was quiet, because that's also part of teamwork, that, you know, that you let everybody in and you see each other. And then you ran with them and you screamed together their name. So they practiced. And then the next time he did it, because he was like, okay, that's how we do it. So yeah, I think that's super cool, David.
Yeah. Just before, maybe you can say something else. Two things there. One, there is mentorship. Okay. There's Mentorship is when you tag along with someone who doesn't know something and you say, come with me. We're doing this way. It's be done, because everybody needs that. I also need that. I need someone to mentor me to go to the next dimension. And then number 2 is respect. Respect is paramount and cuts across. Just because you know one thing better than I do does not make you special than me. And especially in the team. We are one, cover me. If I don't know something, tell me, teach me. Because when you go outside there, it will not be Vendela or David. It will be PAMOJA. It will be Green Kenya was here. PAMOJA was here. Okay? So help me in our boardroom, in our team meeting, so that when I go outside there, I am stronger. And I'm proud that you taught me.
Yeah, that's so nice. Thank you, David.
Sure.
And yeah, for a bit of a fun thing that I've also thought about, you know, we discussed this a few days ago, but I was just thinking if you wanted to share, because as we said, you have played a lot of football and also on an elite level, but one like victory or like success that you remember that you did as a team, you know, when you feel like, or I just, you know, got back to my thoughts when I had this, you know, soccer moment and we won, or we scored a goal and we were, you know, laying under, or, you know, one of those really like team feelings of success. Do you have a memory like that from your football?
So many. So one that I can remember is that we were, before we got promoted to the next tier, the league, we were number 3 and we had 4 matches to play. If we won all of them, we will be promoted to the next level. And so we trained twice a day for 30 days. When people went for breaks, we never went for breaks. We trained. We slept at the same time and woke up at the same time. Okay? We would, you know, do extraordinary things. And so the last 2 matches were the decider. We were playing with another team from another county. And it was so emotional. Our parents came, our friends came to the field. And, you know, in Africa, fields are just like, you know, it can be soil with a little bit of grass. So we went to the field a bit early and we said, today is the day. We are either going to be promoted or remain in this league. And we believed that we are better than that level, okay? And we said, today we will go to the next level. And so they started. And I remember they scored like in the first half and everyone was not talking when we went to break first half. Nobody was talking to each other because we were like, if you don't win this match, we'll stay here. And we decided, when we came back to the field, we said, we will win, come May or what. And so we played and we scored 1 goal and everybody came into the field. And you know, our field here in Africa, I mean, there's no fence. So you're playing here and your friend is just outside here, just watching you. So when we scored the first goal, we were playing at home. Everybody came into the field. We lost like 5 minutes, you know, trying to tell people go out. And so they started clapping. Everyone started clapping around, singing our songs. I mean, calling out our names, and we felt energized, you know. Yeah. And around 90, we went extra time, and around 95th, 4th there, one of the danger guy is called, we call him Katopi. So this guy is, you know, like a chameleon, but he's very, very intelligent. He got the pass, and I don't know what he did. He just did a curve, and it went in, and that's how the match ended. So we were promoted to the next level, and what made us win is not that we had so much skill or we were good in football. It was the teamwork. It was the belief. It was that we can do this, actually. We were born to do this. And if it is not today, it is very day. And those feelings have remained with me, and I still have some photos. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see some of the Facebook account. You'll see some of the pictures that I took that time. Okay. And in the link that I sent to you, there was one that I had so many like mud in my shirt. That was one of the league matches that we played. And I took that into my life today, and I said, this will be like the memory.
Mm.
And so it has been with me ever since. I don't know if you guys have this kind of feeling there.
Yeah, I think on some scale, but when you tell the story, you can, connect it to some memories that you have yourself from those. And I don't know why it's also, I hope I would feel the same thing now. I'm not so a competitive person, but I do. But I remember, when I was a bit younger, that was also, the biggest thing in the world. When you want, that feeling was just so crazy. So when you tell the story, that memory comes back, of course. And I can relate, even though I was not at all so good that you are in soccer, David, but hobby.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, but that's so nice, David. I think that was some of the questions for me. I'm just so happy that you wanted to share not only your work, but your theories and visions. And I think, it's so inspiring for us to take part in and also learn from. And so I was just I was thinking that we could open up if there's any questions or thoughts or anything that someone wants to.
Sure.
Yeah, is that okay? Yeah.
Sure. Ready.
Does anyone have?
Thank you so much, David. This was so nice. I just wonder if you have any, because it has been so inspiring, but do you have any word or quote or motto that you always bring with you in every situation, or something
Very good. So I have a couple, but I'll just share what will come into my mind. One is that I always say that now that we speak the language of our destination and not the language of our pressure, we shall speak to things that are not as if they were. We shall speak hope in the middle of hopelessness. We shall speak joy in the middle of sadness. We shall speak abundance in the middle of lack. And I dare say that we will speak, healing in the middle of pandemic. We believe, therefore we speak, and out of our mouths shall our belly and our minds be satisfied. Okay? And then something else that I would like saying is that you are the sum total of what you think. Nobody else will bring you down. You are the sum total of what you think. And if you think that you're going to make it, you're going to make it. If you think you're going to fail, even if we bring the best minds in the world, you'll never make it. Okay?
Yeah.
And the last one is that everything that you are, everything that you want to become is already in you. You are born with everything that you're supposed to become in this world. And so what education does is refine your thinking, refine the way you talk and the way you write. But your vision and your purpose is in you.
Yeah.
And so if you say, I'm going to make it in any area, in education, in your family, even in PAMOJA, you will become the best organization in the world if you decide to.
Yes.
Wow. They were so inspiring. You need to send them to me as well, because I tried to write a little, but it was so, I'm a slow writer, but I was so inspired. So I love quotes. I think you can live with words.
Yeah, that's so nice. Do we have any other?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Where do you go, or what do you do to find inspiration when you feel like you need inspiration?
Okay, so by the way, and this one has to be birthed within you. There was a time I needed inspiration so much in my life. I needed someone to tell me that, David, you can do this. I needed someone to come and tap me on the back and say, I believe in you. You can do this. And there was nobody to tell me that. And so I know how much it feels when you need appreciation and cannot find it. And so I said to myself that if I have to find this appreciation, then I have to dig in deeper from me. Okay? And I believe I am a believer. I believe in God, and I say, I am here because of a reason, and I need to find that reason. And so I pray to get this inspiration. People are different. People get this inspiration in different ways, but I pray and say, I'm here for a reason. This one has to happen with or without anybody's support. Everything that I have is able to thrust me to the next level. I will do it. And then something else that helps me to get inspiration is I spend most of the time after work alone and meditate and listen to things that music or read books that change my thinking. Mm-hmm. Because you have to change your thinking for you to go to the next level. You cannot go higher than the level that you're exposed to. You'll never go higher than the level that you're exposed to. So you need to get another material, another information that will change the way you think and think global. Okay? Lastly is you cannot build global if you're thinking local. You have to think global, and you're starting small, of course, but you have to think global as you build locally. Okay? That will be new inspiration. Something else that gives you inspiration is I have a vision board. And in this vision board, I've written crazy things about me and where I want to go. And it is a 20, 30-year vision board. I've divided it into 3 parts. There is immediate, short-term, and long-term. And PAMOJA is in this vision board, just so you know. Okay? One of my vision is to impact Africa through play. So nice. I am now the East African representative of one of the organizations that has been our long partner. That is just the beginning. And maybe when we talk, we will be representing East and Central Africa as we move along. That is my inspiration.
Nice. That was a very good answer.
Thank you.
This is Helen. Oh.
Yes, Helen.
David, I'm Helen. I recently joined PAMOJA. So it's my first time in this meeting, but I come from Kenya. So
wow.
I come from Kenya, and it was very nice to listen to you. I just wanted to say that and say that just continue to fight on. I really know what it is to work in Kenya, to inspire children in Kenya. And I know that, in Sweden it's very different. I've lived in Sweden now for almost 5 years, but I know what it is to pull in the mud in Africa. So continue to doing the good work. That's all.
Thank you, Helen. I'm happy to hear that you're from Kenya.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
That's so nice. Okay, but then I was thinking that I actually wanted to introduce Rosie here, who's here today. I think she has something to say also in connection to David and Green Kenya. So welcome, Rosie.
Thank you, Vendela. Yes. I guess that what I just wanted to say is both in regards to you, David, very inspiring session. I don't know if you could see my camera while you were talking, but I basically couldn't help but smiling all the way through, because I just thought that everything you said made so much sense, and I could totally relate to what you were saying, and the stuff that I couldn't relate to was at least very inspiring. So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for that. And also, as most of you probably do not know yet, unless you've seen the video on LinkedIn and on Instagram, I am the new collaboration coordinator of PAMOJA. So that's maybe just nice for you guys to know. And what I'm going to be dealing with is just primarily collaboration, networking on behalf of the organization. And, we set this goal, or Vendela and Johanna and all of us set the goal that we have to say hi to 50 different organizations within 2021. So that is going to be my mission, so to speak. And yeah, so I'm thrilled to start doing that. And that's why you and I, David, are probably also going to connect further and have something to do with each other beyond this. So yeah, that is, I think, my just initial hi to everyone. Yeah.
So nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that's so fun, David, that we continue, hopefully also meet sometime. I'm trying to encourage you to come visit us in Scandinavia, or we have the chance to get to you again, but that we can continue after this session also to stay in contact and see always how we can collaborate with each other. But if maybe you want to say some last notes, but I just wanted to say that I'm so happy that you could join us today. And meet, because I've been talking about you and your organization, because I've been so inspired since we started talking, but also when I met you. So yes, thank you.
Yeah, it was very, very inspiring, and I think it was so nice to hear like how the teamwork somehow has impacted your confidence and like belief in you can do anything that you aspire to do, kind of. Yeah, and especially together. So that was very, very nice.
Very good.
Cool to hear. And I think it was also so important and like very inspiring to hear how you were with the children, and like how the children's mission wasn't just to win the game, but simply be part of the game. Yeah, and I think that is something we could all bring back in our lives today as grown-ups also.
Very good. Thank you. It's good to hear this kind of remarks. I never knew that I'm going to do something like this, honestly. I never thought of it, but I wrote it down. And so my advice to all of you is write your vision down. And if you need help to do this, I will help you. Write your vision down, because you'll never attain any level of success until you are clear with your purpose and where you're going. Why are you here? Where are you going? What can you do? And who can help you do that? And then the last thing is, after all is said and done, what else? When you've achieved everything that you wanted to achieve, you have all the success, all the things are hanging on your wall, what next? You need to pass the baton to the next generation. And you cannot do that if you've not invested in yourself. Invest in your education, invest in your emotions, invest in other people. And then you can say, I've done this, and now I can help another person. You cannot do that if you've not helped yourself. You cannot give something that you don't have.
Thank you, David. I think if we can give a round of applause for you joining us today. So happy for that. Yeah, I always
like this.
Yeah, that's that's good, Hannah. We can do all different types of forms.
To all of us.
Yeah. Okay, but thank you guys so much for joining in today. And